this victory as my own.
'Tis my undying spirit which drives me forth.
Unicorn Overlord is a medieval fantasy game which combines real-time strategy with RPG elements. Now, is it fun? Is it worth playing? In fact, it is. Just go buy the game now. But if you have 5 minutes to spare, I'm here to tell you why. First, let's start with presentation. Now, by now you should know that this 2D art style is Vanillaware trademark. If you played Vanillaware previous major project, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, you should be used to their anime style. And their effort in presentation is very obvious, because even the food, as you will see later, is animated very well and also makes me feel very hungry, in this case for spaghetti and Italian cuisine. On top of that, the sound as you fight the enemies in the pouring rain is amazing. In addition, the background music as you explore the open world is also quite good, so it's obvious Vanillaware spent a lot of effort in this presentation. I also note that this kind of art style tend not to be too graphically demanding for the console that I'm using, in this case the Switch, so the game loads almost immediately after I choose what I want to do. There's almost no wait time in between cutscenes or changing between the open world and visiting a store, so that is very good. Next, I want to talk about story. In this game, you play as the main character Elaine, this blue hair guy in the middle of this cutscene, as you seek to restore your country of Cornea after it's been unjustly stolen from you from a group of people called the Xenorians. Thus, you as Elaine has to travel around the continent to gather as many allies as you need to help you defeat the Xenorians. These allies may take the form of people from other states, and even people from other races such as elves and others I won't mention to avoid spoiling for you, to help you create a small army to help you defeat the Xenorians. Now, the story is nothing too special to write home about, but I did find the interactions between Elaine and the other characters very interesting. While the interaction between your allies are also interesting, but there are some misses, and I feel there are a lot of missed opportunities for more stories to be told between the allies, but the main focus here is Elaine. So to me, the story is acceptable, but of course not the main focus of this type of game. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the gameplay. Now, this type of game lives and dies by the gameplay, and I'm proud to say that the gameplay is fantastic. Now, the game lets you toggle between the open world where you explore, gather resources and allies, and also when you go into battle, a more focused real-time battle experience. The battle map is filled with enemies, obstacles, and also resources for you to use against the enemies. So you need to position and move your troops very carefully if you want the maximum amount of effectiveness. When you encounter the enemies based on the squad that you have chosen, you will be introduced to a cutscene where you see your squad fighting the enemies. And sometimes Unicorn Overlord is what my friends like to call programming the game, or what I would like to call a medieval combat manager, like similar to Football Manager. In other words, pre-battle, you do give instructions to each of your characters on what to do during the battle itself. For instance, you have to decide when should your healer use her healing spell. Should she use it when you are close to death, or should she use it when you are dropped below 75% health? So these are decisions you have to make before the battle starts. And another interesting part of the battle, you also can choose what type of enemy should your character attack. Should your horses focus on the thieves in the game, or should you leave it up to the archers? And that is all up for you to decide. I found this aspect of programming the tactics into the squad the most addictive part of the game, and I find myself coming back to it over and over and over again. So this game is like the ideal Fire Emblem or the ideal tactical simulator, and I simply can't put it down. So all in all, what do I give Unicorn Overlord? Because of its addictive gameplay, its great presentation, including the art style and the sound, and its decent story, I give it a 10 out of 10. It is definitely my nominee for Game of the Year, and I'll probably do another video to explain why it should win Game of the Year. If I had to nitpick, I wish they had more time and more budget to work on the story on the later part of the game. But right now, most of the story and the interesting parts are in the early to mid part of the game. But there is a very minor criticism. All in all, please get the game, it's fantastic. This is the 5-minute reviewer signing off, and have a nice day.